Get the father of one of them, Mariah, I don't have the Gemara in front of me, who was a businessman and would travel for business. And every couple of months, I think once every 3 months, he'd return to the Beis Medrash. And this Gemara has been quoted before. So this evening. So you've heard the pasuk in Yeshaya, the Osi Yom Yom Yidroshu, Afili Yom Echad, even if a person is only zoch to be in the Beis Medrash. But he didn't just come to the Beis Medrash to absorb, but I think he brought a lot of refreshing perspectives to the Beis Medrash and the people that were in the Beis Medrash. The continuation of the pasuk in Yeshaya, V'osi Yom Yom Yidroshu, V'das Hashem Yichpatzun, K'goyesh Tzedakah Oseh. I think Moshe Nachum had a very innate sense of both the inner morality within HaKadosh Baruch Hu's Torah, within his Ratzon, and as a lawyer who wasn't just a professional lawyer, but had a sense of trying to contribute to building a better community and a better society. I think he saw in the Devar Hashem the ultimate blueprint for human welfare. I think I was also, which is why it's such an honor for me to be here, to be his entree point into the yeshiva. Baruch Hashem had so much that he gained from the yeshiva, and I'm sure it's been spoken about before, but I think my shir, in 1998, when Avi was in the shir, Avi was in the first time he came, and I think it was about Shtaros or Shtaros, we're learning Takvakoing, and we're exploring the depths of what others would find to be very morally neutral discussions, two people holding on to an item, and one person grabs from the other, and he just saw the Dvar Hashem. He saw a portal to a world of ethics and morality. But I think what was so inspiring about Morris and Moshe was he didn't just sense it as a blueprint for human welfare and morality, but he also had an awe of the infinity of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's work. It was very grounded that he saw in halacha a blueprint for morality, but I think he also scoped infinity. And he saw that this was timeless, and he brought that sense of awe. He was a person, I always felt as if sometimes we lose our ability to have awe. We become too accustomed, we become too familiar. And every time that Morris came back to the Beis Medrash, it was with a sense of awe, a sense of glory, that this is the Devar Hashem. And Kisha Roa Adam, the Lashon of the Rambam, Nechus Yesod Torah, the Path to Abbas Hashem, Maisa V'Ruach Haniflayim, Chachma Shelem Kitzvah Ve'en Erech. He saw that there was something larger here, but it was also something that was grounded within the human experience. And that awe was infectious, and that awe was contagious. And something else that was very contagious was this week's Parsha, the Kruvim, adorn the top of the Aron, which symbolizes Torah. So according to one day in the Gemara, why are they called Kruvim? Because their faces were fashioned like babies, to Rabbi. They're like tinokas. Rabbi is one of the words for children. And Morris had a very childlike innocence and humility to him. He's a very successful lawyer. There was a very quiet humility. He came back to the yeshiva, and you'd think that someone would come back would want a room that was more suitable for an adult, and they would come back and spend a few hours in the Beis Medrash, and then go to some restaurants, or he literally slid himself right into the yeshiva, and was just a bacher for a week. It was a bacher and he just ate every night. I would walk home at night, I'd pass by the dining room, he'd be sitting with the boys at the table, and it taught me a lot about not just the wonder of Torah, but the childlike innocence that sometimes we lose as we travel through this world, and he restored that during his trips back to the yeshiva. I was thinking about it's not yet Parashas Tetzaveh, but it's the beginning of Tetzaveh, and for all intents and purposes, Moshe's name disappears. Obviously, most famously from Tetzaveh, if you look carefully, it's the beginning of Truma, and then it fades. And most of the time, we read Truma and Tetzaveh together. So Moshe is gone. Moshe is no longer here. But the reason that Truma and Tetzaveh are chosen in part is because Hitzivu and his commandments are his legacy. And I was thinking there's no pasuk more appropriate, although it's a prosaic pasuk. It's a pasuk we all know. But his legacy, I think, beyond all of his good deeds in his Talmud Torah, is it was stunning to see the way that he allowed Torah to transform his entire family. 1998, and everything that occurred from then, not in addition to the past, which I wasn't a part of, was a real transformative moment. And the whole family, starting with Avi, and really all of the children that came, and Debbie, I would see her she'd show up different places, and we'll know she'd be in Chicago at a shir, or you felt the way that Torah and the beauty of Torah transformed the entire family. So the pasuk that I was thinking is the best pasuk for me to capture at least a part of his life that I had the schus to be part of, and the conversations we had, and he would write letters when he finished his week in yeshiva. He took the time to diligently write a letter to describe his time in yeshiva, and you think those letters don't have impact on us. They really do, and they really did, because we all work hard, and we all like a compliment, we all like to take a step back from our perspective and get a sense of how we're hopefully changing people's lives and improving people's lives. So Moshe is no longer with us, but Morasha Kilas Yaakov. He left a real legacy, and it's incredible to see how a person who didn't necessarily find himself initially in the world of Torah was able to become a world of Torah, not just for himself, but for Yamiel, for Sarah, of course, for Debbie. So it's a real supposed to be part of his life and to be part of that journey. It's obviously very sad to be part of this experience, but I want to thank Avi for arranging the evening, and Mitzvah Hashem, all of our schlios and all of our